Hi folks, welcome to Booze with Nick, full-length edition. Today I'm going to take a look at a whiskey that I am not particularly happy with or excited about right now. Michter's Small Batch Kentucky Straight. I did a short on it yesterday where I panned it, to say the least. And I thought, if I'm going to be that negative about a whiskey, I think I owe it a fair shake in a more in-depth, slower-paced, full-length review. So let's find out. Is Michter's really as bad and as disappointing as I made it out to be yesterday? The short answer is no. The slightly longer answer is, So, Michter's, for those of you who don't know, presents itself as kind of a boutique or like a craft distillery. I believe they're independently owned. As opposed to being part of the Heaven Hill or Brown-Forman or, Beam Suntory dynasties. And they present themselves as being a very small batch, again, kind of artisanal product. From their website, I'm just going to read a little bit here. We're made from a carefully selected mash bill that features the highest quality American corn. Really, corn in a bourbon. I'm shocked. It is then matured to the peak of perfection. We are truly small batch, in air quotes for some reason. Each batch of our U.S. Star 1 Kentucky Straight Bourbon is batched in a holding tank sized to fit a maximum of 20 full barrels. And they go on about this small batch kind of boutique identity for a little bit. And I've been familiar with the brand for a while now, and I just hadn't tried it. Wanted to buy a better bottle of whiskey earlier in the week, so I'd gotten through a tough meeting at work and wanted to reward myself. I thought, we're doing the Michter's today. Got it home, poured off the neck, and I'm like, well, what the, where's the rest of it? It was uninspiring. The nose was weak. It didn't smell any more complex or interesting than a bourbon a half or even a third of its price. And on the palate, it was just weak. Kind of reminded me of how disappointed I was when I had Evan Single Barrel, or anything from Buffalo Trace that's not benchmark number 8, right? You get these whiskeys that kind of hype themselves, or Basil Hayden's. Oh, let's throw that one into the dog pen here, doghouse, dog pen. Whiskeys that present themselves as being frankly better than they are. So it's kind of situation that we have here with Michter's. Is it a terrible whiskey? No, not by any stretch. But when I'm going to drop $48 on a bourbon, I expect it to be pretty damn good, considering that I can get a bottle of Jack Bonded for $32. I know it's not bourbon, calm down. Or Jack Single Barrel for about the same price as this. And they're excellent, superb, just beautiful corn whiskeys. Or let's get to the meat of it. I can get an excellent whiskey for less than half the price. I can get a bottle of Old Forester 100. I can get one of my beloved bottles of Dickel. Or, hell, I can get the only good whiskey Buffalo Trace makes that doesn't cost $100 a bottle. Benchmark number 8 for $13 a fifth at ye old local state-owned liquor store. So for the price, it's a letdown. Let's nose it a little bit here. There is some actually pleasant corn going on here right now. Yeah, a little bit of I don't want to say generic, but a standard bourbon, caramel honey, caramel vanilla kind of smell. It's not unpleasant at all. And then it gets to the palate, and there's a little too much oak up front. It's a no-age statement whiskey, so I don't know how long it was spent in the oak. I'm thinking maybe just a little too long. And then behind that slightly excessive oak, and it's not like a tannin bomb, but it's just slightly excessive oak. Behind that excessive oak is, and we get to the problem, not much. Some caramel, not a particularly interesting caramel and not really an enjoyable level of it. There's just not that much there. From their website, I'm going to read again. Tasty notes, rich caramel with balanced vanilla. How about some caramel and a hint of vanilla? Stone fruit notes, not picking that up at all. Smoky depth with an oak finish. No, I'm sorry, it's just not there and the finish is weak. So is it a bad whiskey? No. If I paid 14 or 15 bucks a bottle, or even 17 or 18 for this, I'd be happy. If it were competing against Evan Black or Evan White, they'd have something going here. But for damn near 50 bucks, I'm expecting a whiskey with a lot more character. As part of the fuller length episode, and as part of the effort to give this whiskey a fair shake, let's do a little experiment and let's put this stuff on ice. So glad I didn't spill that on camera. It would have been embarrassing and I can't edit. So sometimes ice helps whiskeys like this. A little bit more on the nose, actually. Slightly chilled. I actually am getting a touch more caramel depth. I'm not sure about stone fruit per se, but maybe a little hint of some cherry syrup, which I did mention in my short negative review yesterday. I know cherries have pits in them, so they're a stone fruit. Settle down. Botany Club. You know, even on ice, this one just isn't helped enough to justify the price point. Folks, I have talked long enough about a whiskey that's not that interesting. Hey, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Your reward is saving 50 bucks and not buying a disappointing bottle of whiskey. As always, I appreciate your time, your attention, your viewership. I hope your summer is off to a great start if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And in the meantime, live well, drink well, be well, and I'll see you soon.